see you whether you are here live today or whether you're on the replay. If you're in the chat room, we're sending out a big shout out to you. And before we get started, we'd like to invite you to check out our website at broadcastteamalpha.com and to join our YouTube channel. You can find that on the link on broadcastteamalpha.com. We want to send a big thank you out to L&M Radio, to Katie and Daryl, who are the most amazing producers. And if you resonate with this broadcast, please consider giving a donation or subscribing to L&M Radio, because without you, there's no us. So excited. Last week we talked about the frequency of kindness, because everything is energy. Our best estimation is that kindness is somewhere between 432, 528, or 529 hertz. So last week we also had a surprise visit from Pliage 36931. I don't know if you caught that one. You might want to check the replay. But that Pliage showed up to give us a cosmic perspective. So this week we're going to expand the discussion on kindness and how it manifests on our planet, on our BTA planet, because we're really not from this planet. So first we're going to talk about how Augie planted some kindness on this planet. Augie, hey Tom.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Hey. Season's greetings.
Yeah.
Season's greetings. Uh-oh, she's back. Oh, God.
Season's greetings.
Oh, and yes.
Yeah, there's that robot again.
Well, get used to it. Yeah. So, Augie, you planted some kindness. Can you tell us about that, or is it a state secret?
You suggested on the last show that we actually go out and experiment a little bit. And I did that. I went over to Walmart and I thought, let's see how this works. And I went over to Walmart and I took a couple of times, I took a quarter. I walked into the toy section where there were, there were a lot of kids and their mothers, was just kind of roaming around there. And I put a couple of quarters. One of them I put right in front of some toys. Looked like it was popular toys on the shelf. And I walked off and I stood there and looked like I was looking at my telephone while I was watching the quarter really close. And it took me quite a while, actually, to somebody to discover the quarter. And that kid that discovered the quarter, he just lit up like a candle right there. He looked like he was, he had found $1 million. Well, maybe he did,
Yeah.
According to his world, that's probably close to $1 million. And he grabbed the quarter, ran over to his mom, and showed it to her. And she really didn't show that much interest to it, but the kid was really excited about it, and he stuck it in his pocket, and, they just walked off.
Aw, I bet that was magical for him. I mean, so we talked about planting quarters, and Augie actually did it, and you hung around to see the result of it. So that's so cool. I mean, I don't know. Remember when we had payphones, I think, and we used to find a dime or a quarter in a payphone?
Yeah, I remember the way back when they were a nickel.
Oh, I don't remember that. Okay.
No, in fact, when it comes to a payphone, I really got a story there from back in Omaha. And, I went to the airport a lot. I got 2 airplanes sitting down there from our operation in Minneapolis, and I went there a lot. And also, Warren Buffett came through there a lot, and we talked a lot. And one of the things that the wealthiest man in the world used to do ever so often, he walked up to the payphone and stuck his finger in the coin slot. And once in a while, he found the quarter.
Oh, cool.
And that lit him up. There was one time I was standing right next to the payphone, I remember specifically. He put his finger in the coin slot and found the quarter in there. He got it out, got a big smile on his face, looked at me, and he flipped it. It spun around in the air, and it ended up in his hand. And he looked at me and he said, "It's going to be a good day."
Oh, my God. What a great story. So I mean, a quarter is, I mean, almost meaningless monetarily, I would imagine, to Warren Buffett. But the energy, right? The energy of finding something unexpected, right? The energy of appreciating a quarter with childlike wonder just adds to your day, right? So it's gonna you're gonna create a good day because of that little tiny unexpected act that happened.
Yeah, he was looking for the energy coming, not the quarter, but the energy coming through that action of fun. Actually, let me reverse that a little bit.
Okay.
I think what he was, the way he explained it later, it was that he was looking for the energy. That quarter was the visual expression of the energy of the day.
Well, that's
And when he
interesting.
flew out of town, I was always to some meeting, and he, his airplanes were a little bigger than mine, and he flew a Bombardier, and that is, you could put 20 people in that thing, and I could probably get no more than 8, 12. But he looked for the small things that the energy expressed to him. So when he went somewhere, he brought that energy with him to that meeting he was going to.
Okay, so that's amazing. So he gave meaning to the quarter. He gave energetic meaning to the quarter, which is amazing. That's amazing. I love
Yeah.
that. So he took that, created energetic meaning around it, and he pre-paved energetically the rest of his day. And then one day unfolded into the next, and he woke up and he was like, seriously, Warren Buffett. And we can do that too.
Yeah, we can, and we should, and we must, because it works.
It does work. But so I just want to go back a little bit to the energy of kindness, because I love I love the pureness of your heart, Augie, that inspired you to actually go out there. I mean, who really wants to go, hang around Walmart for too long, right? But you actually went out there and planted quarters and waited to see the joy from that little boy. And I mean, that kind of kindness is just so special, and I'm hoping that it's not rare, right? I'm hoping that we can all share in that, because on our planet, that kind of kindness is a normal way of being. On our planet, on our BTA planet, it's our society is based on love and compassion and kindness. So we're kind of looking in onto Earth during this holiday season, trying to get a grasp on what's going on regarding the holiday season, because on our planet, we give gifts all the time. Tom, do you have any thoughts on this? Mm. 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 Right? Mhm. Right? Right.
I think that that is something that we all should think about, because I think very few of us have actually sat down and thought about what would an ideal world be like if we had to start all over again with resources.
Mhm.
The technologies that is available today that we have not been told about can actually create this imaginary world into reality. The replicators, they already exist. It's just that we have not been on Earth. We have not been privy to that.
I just
So yeah,
realized that I had my microphone muted.
No. We totally heard you.
You did? Well, you
That's
heard me on Skype, but they didn't hear me on the YouTube. So that didn't go out.
oh, great.
I was trying to keep the noise factor down and I totally muted my mic. So I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, sorry for that little technical glitch there. But yeah, I talked about replication and how we would all have the things that we need and what can we do? What can we give others if we have everything we need? And so I'm sorry about that little technical glitch there. Everybody was wondering, why is it so quiet? Who's talking? So sorry about that.
yeah, we should think about that, because once we start thinking about it, it is obviously placed in the future, and we create this world with a low form of life out there. And if the more we think about it, the more we get drawn to it. So we can actually create this world, and that is what we're going to do for the next 45 minutes here.
Right. So we're going to ask you just to suspend your disbelief with us, because on our planet, it's really kind of magical. On our planet, it is pure love and compassion and kindness. On our planet, you have everything you need, because we do have replicators. We do have medibeds. We do have digimeds from Halidium Labs. We have everything that we need. So if we were to participate in a season like the holidays on our planet, it's going to look a little bit different. How's it going to look different, Tom?
Well, and I missed this earlier because I have my mic muted, but when you have everything you need and you don't need anything, the only thing you can exchange in a season of giving is what? Your service to others, your friendship, or a handcrafted item of some kind, something you made. So those are the only things you can really give, and it's stuff that has a sentimental value that does not have a monetary value.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what we're giving and exchanging really is energy, and what's the frequency of the energy that I impart to you? So my gift to you might be being your cosmic wingman for a night. You're going to go out and you're going to drink cosmic woo-woo juice, and you're going to get a little drunk, but you'll have me, right? My gift to you is I'll hang out with you. I'll be the designated spacecraft driver, and I'll take care of you to make sure that you have a safe night. So what's the frequency of that, right? What's the frequency of you're a great host, right? You host dinners. So I'd be a wingman for you. You host dinners for me and Augie, right? And we all give to each other, because on our planet, we share our gifts. We share our talents.
Well, imagine, we were talking a little bit about this offline, and that is, imagine on that kind of a planet, you want to go out on date night, and you want to go to a really nice restaurant. Well, think about it. If the economy doesn't work that way, how are you going to pay for dinner? So what you might be required to do is to show up a few days in advance and put in a little time in that restaurant to earn your seat at the table. And now you've washed dishes for a day or two, or maybe you are a cook in that restaurant, and and you're up. You're the person providing that service that night. And then when it's time for you to have your date night or your dinner out, or your friends that want to come and show up and be at that restaurant, you've already earned your place at that restaurant by your own service.
I love that. So we are of service to each other, and we share our gifts.
Absolutely. I think it could work in a lot of different areas. For example, I think you talked about maybe a spa on our planet. Mm-hmm. The spas on the planet, because a lot of people that immigrated from Earth to our planet, they've already been massage therapists and they've got all these skills. What are they going to do? Well, they volunteer at the spa, but they also get the reciprocity of their service time, earns them things elsewhere. It earns them dinners at that restaurant, or it earns them something special for them putting in their service where they're at.
Right. And we give, right? Everybody that's on the planet gives because it feels good. You know, on our planet, we believe that we don't have to feel bad for any single fraction of a minute. We don't have we use polarity to inspire us to create more. So we don't see things that create discord like on Earth. We don't see different body shapes. We see everybody as whole, perfect, and complete. The lenses of our eyes see skin only in appreciable ways, not in a way to create separation. It's more balanced. It's balanced in love and kindness. Even the drones that fly over, it's not because our planet needs surveillance, it's because the drones are programmed to help.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely positive focus.
It's benevolent. It's amazing.
Yeah, and another thing too, that unlike back on Earth, there will be no homeless people because houses are easily made, dwellings are created very much to our liking and to the shape and the rooms and everything to the way we like, because it's so simple to make with the printing process that is available. And another resource that we have is, I am not going to say old people, I'm going to say more chronologically advanced people. That is like me. Because we have enormous life experience that we can bestow on the younger ones that haven't had those experiences yet, so they can learn from it. And that is one of the things that even back on Earth people should think about. Listen to older people, because we have some pearls in there once in a while that they can learn from. And that is one of the things that on our planet will be done a lot with.
Right. On our planet, we're out and we're living in community and we're interacting with all of the ages that span the spectrum. So like the pearls of wisdom that the people that have wisdom and endurance, they get to share it with little kids. They get to share it with people, middle-aged, every age. And it's
funny on a
flow.
Planet. On our planet, a lot of the occupations that have prominence now, the tables become turned. On our planet, teachers are among the highest revered people in the land. Artists and musicians have a new value that they never had on Earth, because on our planet, there's nothing, you don't need to work in the same way. Now, the things that are of value are knowledge and wisdom and art. And the scientists will probably always be needed, but they will take on a different role, I think, a little bit more. I guess they're always going to be needed. Scientists and engineers are always going to be needed. But we will give these other aspects to society, the art and the music and the teaching and instructors and old people with wisdom and walking history books is who they are. And they will have a greater, I think they will be revered, because what else are you going to do?
Well, what we do on our planet is we do what we enjoy.
Right.
So if you're a doctor and you were burned out from being on Earth, but you make wine, okay, so great, you get to make the wine. We all get to do what we love doing, and we get to share that with people. I mean, how amazing is that? We're just recycling our passion and sharing it with people.
Well, a doctor won't have to withdraw care from the people he wants to help. He'll have everything at his disposal. He won't have to deny anyone. So he'll be able to help the people he wants to help, and he'll be able to have everything with him at any time in his own vehicle. He'll be, I can help you with that right now. And so they won't be restrained from helping like they are now. I'm sure it pains a lot of medical professionals, you're one, to have to watch people be turned away from health care. That's horrible. So on that planet, on our planet, you don't get turned away for things like that.
No, on our planet, the healers are abundant, and they make house calls. Absolutely. Yeah, on our planet, There's no drama.
Oh,
There's
I'm
no
sure there's drama.
discord.
There's always going to be drama. I think there's
Not
always
on
gonna
my planet.
we can eliminate a lot of it, but I think there's always going to be some drama somewhere.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
there'll be mild contrast
It'll
that
be drama for
inspire
the right reasons. I think where you're talking, it'll be the right kind of drama.
exactly.
It'll be, yeah.
Yeah, not the drama that spins out into like insanity. No, that doesn't exist on our planet.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. That
Or
we will,
if there is drama, we're not pulled by it.
yeah,
And if we are pulled by it, we bounce back into being balanced quickly.
yes,
How about that?
because we won't have a lot of false pressures on us. So people won't have to make bad decisions because they don't have enough money. They won't have to commit a crime or do something really shady that really destroys their own. That is something they really don't want to do. They won't have to because they won't have to be put in that position to do something awful in order to survive. That is a side benefit of the whole thing on our planet, is that your basic needs are met. Your health care is met. Your food, clothing, and shelter everything is met. So what's next? Personal spiritual development.
Right. So what's next, right? On Maslow's hierarchy of needs, what's next is self-actualization. So we are on the planet of where everything is so taken care of. All we have to do is be us, is to be the best version of who we came to be, sharing our love and our gifts and our passion with other like-minded people. Well, maybe like-minded, I would imagine. And yeah, I would imagine we would be like-minded because
In concept, I think, yeah, I think so.
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, in concept, I think we would be very much like-minded because right now the differences are very often caused, and the conflict are caused by the difference between haves and haves not. And here we are all haves. So many of those contrasts will go away. There will still be differences of opinions about things, but that could be turned into constructive discussions, not conflict.
Oh, I like that. So people would, what's the word?
You'd be more relaxed. You won't be in a hurry to have to get anything. The agendas can relax. You're not going to be on a 30-day clock to produce money for bills. That's gone. Now you have the time to sit and think maybe. Maybe you need to take 30 days and walk through the mountains and the woods. Maybe you just need to take some time to find yourself and to understand who you really are, instead of doing things that you really, maybe the career you found on Earth really wasn't you. You did it because the other external pressures. You felt you needed to do it because of this or that reason. And now you can take the time to rediscover, who am I and what am I supposed to be doing?
Who am I and what do I feel like doing for the next 10 minutes, right? I mean, what if we were so free? What if we were so free to be who we came to be that we could choose, like, okay, how am I going to express myself for the next 10? We could live in 10-minute increments, like 10-minute increments of joy. Or if you're really in the flow, you can expand it to hours.
And if you wanted to go do something on a whim, you could. If you hadn't committed yourself to some project, or I'm sure you're always going to want to honor your commitments even in that kind of a world.
Yes.
But you could actually move to, let's say that you begin to make friends that all of us, I think your friendships are going to change. You're going to find like minds that, maybe you were doing a certain kind of job on Earth and you get into this world and you find out that, you know what, really, I'm this person. And you begin to find other people who have begun to find themselves, and they've all come out of their wrong, they were miscast for their world as well. And now you make a bunch of new friends, and you're more in alignment with these new friends than you ever were on Earth. And you find that maybe you all want to do something together as a project. And that I think in that kind of world too, we're going to have the kind of space travel that says, you know what, we really want to go on this mission to this other planet. And now you've got these new friends that you can align with and go on these adventures and journeys together. And I don't think we'll be confined to one planet. I think we'll be able to do these explorations with like-minded people.
Road trip. Well, no, see, you can't even say road trip anymore, right? Space trip, right?
Space
I got
RV.
shotgun.
That's right.
I got shotgun.
I think you're going to have plenty of room. I think there's going to be plenty of room. So, yeah.
So on our planet, law of attraction is practice to mastery, because it's really what we're talking about. We're talking about energy. We're talking about frequency. We're talking about vibration. the vibration of what we give is the vibration of what we create in our life and what we create on our planet.
I just don't think it's going to be clouded. I think the ability to see it through is not going to be clouded by these external negative pressures that we have right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and I think we're talking about actually what it would be like, but there is also an underlying question here too. How is this all possible? In fact, it is possible with present-day technologies on Earth, or some of them that we have not been told about. Those things could come with us, and that will be creating those replicators we were talking about. We were talking about also a sound mind, which comes from sound education instead of what they're doing back on Earth. And we have education instead of indoctrination. And this is something that when the mind is sound, our environment will be sound and our bodies will be sound, because the medical system will be allowed to use all these cures and techniques that they are not allowed maybe sometimes here back on Earth. So this can all be done with the present situation from Earth, be transposed into this new world and taken advantage of.
I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, and think about it. If these so-called technologies that we've been hearing about, if they really do exist, that we've heard about from some of the folks that we've interviewed, if they really exist, then that means your body could last quite a bit longer, maybe 200 to 300 years. So what better way to spend your time, I think, on our new planet than to go back to school? You got time. You're going to have time. You're going to have lots of time. So you can go ahead and get several masters, several doctorates, and really improve your mind.
And the term free society comes to mind because, first of all, we're not using money or even the debt instrument we call money. We're not using that anymore, because here everything is made available and we all share in the work and the efforts and the mind creation of this new world. So like you were talking about going to the restaurant and washing dishes or cooking or something, that is something that many of us would enjoy doing. In fact, I would. And this is something that there in other areas of society. Let's say somebody needs a new house. Somebody just came to the world and they need a house. And we do like the Amish do when something happened to them. They're barn raising. Let's say 5 or 10 people get over there, and we use the replicator, which you can actually Google that and find out how it works. Houses can be created in 1 or 2 days now through these the replicators, not replicators, but they're printers, they call it.
Oh, the big 3D printers. Yes, I saw that in China. Yeah.
Does not cost much at all, even back on Earth. And we could do that on our world. So the houses become not just a huge investment anymore. It becomes one of those things that we created, live in it for a while. Maybe we want another one, and then we just create another one.
Yeah, we're not going to be limited. I see it as a kind of the kind of jobs that you might have on a planet like that is that you're going to need somebody who's going to kind of manage like a giant Airbnb system where, you know what, I'm really kind of tired of living on this equatorial region. Can you guys get me a spot further north? I'm thinking about something further north for a while. And it can go into a system that says, yeah, we've got a spot open up here. And really, you just don't care about owning your house. You really don't, because there's another one available up north. You want to live up there for a while? Fine. Because you're going to have an interplanetary network computer system like we have here. You won't have to literally be in a particular spot for a lot of things you want to do. And if it really is something that you need to be localized for, yeah, I think it would be trivial for all you'd have to do is consult the database and say, yeah, we got a spot open over here because we got a guy that wants to go back to your spot. You guys could just swap. How about that? So I think that's going to be entirely available to us. I see that as a complete part of the society we will live in, that we won't give a rat's behind about owning a house and putting all this time and effort into it unless you really want to. Maybe that's what you like and you really want to make a really cool home. And you might need that. Maybe you have children and you might need that for a while, you know?
I love the replicators.
Yeah, and I see we are down to the bottom of the hour here, so we just need to go take about a 4-minute break so we can go refresh our coffee.
See you
And
in a minute.
Roger that. We'll see you on the flip side. Daryl, are you there?
I guess.
Well, maybe. Speaking of rats behinds, on our planet, tell us about pets, Augie, on our planet.
Pets? Oh, yeah. I got 2 cats in the house here, and of course they own the place, you know. But otherwise, I tell you though, it's people that have pets, first of all, there's much health benefits from it. They live longer and they're happier. And on our planet, those that want pets, they should have them. And one of the most precious things that we can give to somebody is to find out what they like in a pet and give them a pet, because pets will become just like members of the family. And I can say that I've had dogs, I had a cougar for a pet, now I've got cats here, and those are family members and you love them.
And a cougar?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know, and the thing is, on our planet, people say, well, how are you going to feed them? How are you going to take care of them? Well, you've got plenty of room. I believe on our planet, everybody's going to have at least about an acre of space, if not more. If they need more, it's a big planet. We can get you more space. If you want to run a menagerie of all kinds of animals, you'll have the resources to do it, because it's not going to be a planet of scarcity. Our planet, there is no scarcity.
Right, and the veterinarians, right, the people who love taking care of animals, do it because they love doing it.
And they'll have the resources. This is the thing that we've all been trained on this planet, to always think in terms of scarcity and lack. On our planet, we don't have that problem. We've got that problem solved.
So if we are limitless, what can we create? I mean, there's no topping it off. We can create and recreate and create some more.
Yeah, it is limitless. It really becomes, and see, without all these limits that we have here on this planet that are holding us back,
right?
You have no excuse. Spiritual development, personal development, however you want to phrase it, that becomes your life. It really becomes your life. And humanity can grow up, and we can begin to not be so bound up in our politics, not be so bound up in our pettiness and our scarcity and who's got this, the haves and the have-nots. Everybody will be a have. So then now you got that problem solved. What's left?
Right. So you said before that there'll always be a little bit of drama. Okay, so I'll agree with that. But we know, on our planet, we know how to balance our humanness. And we don't make anybody else responsible for, the parts of our humanness that, can be buffed up a little bit, where we kind of, maybe fall short a little, or we're learning something new. We don't make anybody else responsible for that. We're all responsible for our own well-being and the way that we express ourselves. And we're free to do it without any limitations.
Well, think about it. You won't have your work to go to every day to kind of mask it. You won't. You can take some. If you hit a place in your life, you go, God, I need to take a break, and I need to really reevaluate. What am I doing? You'll be able to take that time, because there will be no clock running other than the one that says, get your life together, move forward, move up. If you need to make a change, then you will have the time. You won't mask it at work. You won't maybe you will, but I think that. You won't have the. There are people that I've talked to that it was when they finally got laid off and had some time to do some reflecting that they were able to make other changes that improve their lives. And sometimes the work treadmill does not allow us to self-reflect or give us a moment of breath to take stock.
Right. And I mean, how many people I know a handful of people that have just like walked out on their reality. You know, they've had it with the corporate world, they've had it with mainstream medicine. You know, they've walked out and they've mm, been creative and blessed enough to create something new. But on our planet, you don't have to walk out because you're not ever in that restrictive situation again. There's no more cubes, there's no more corporate, there's no more insurance companies. I mean,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. The now you've decided your vocation is what. That's the thing. I think if there was a mass migration to a new planet with a reset like what we're talking about, I think everybody would just need maybe a year off just to kind of just okay, everybody time out. And there's always going to be people that need to be doing right away. You're going to have engineers and scientists that will need to be put to work right away. But at some point, I think a good portion of humanity needs to take a timeout.
Yeah,
Time.
I think though also that what we know as jobs, yeah, there'll be jobs there too on our new planet, but we're going to think of it more like work, not just jobs. You know what JOB stands for, and we're not going to go there. So it's going to be work, and because somebody has to make the replicators, somebody has to create the roads, somebody has to build houses, but it's going to be in a little different fashion, where they first of all, it'll be done by people who enjoy their work, because otherwise they wouldn't be drawn to it, since it is a voluntary and a free society. Like there will be physicians. Actually, I'm going to retract that. It's going to be healers and physicians.
Well, you know, I'm going to
So,
take some time. I'm going to do 30 days on an organic farm because I like gardening, and I'd like to go. That would be a vacation for me. You guys mind if I
yeah.
volunteer for some organic farming? I'd just like to kind of get in there and get my hands dirty and find out what it's all about. And it won't be a problem because they'll have plenty of quarters there for me to stay. Yeah, you're committing to a month, Tom. So you're going to be out here for a month. It's early rise and late to bed, but you're going to learn all about gardening and farming. And to me, that would just
Wow.
be wonderful. That to me would be like a vacation, just to kind of go and learn that. But you can't do
Well,
that here because now you'd
uh,
be really messing up somebody's farm. You know, you don't want somebody
right.
that doesn't know what they're doing.
But we being cohabitants of the planet totally support you. We totally support you in going to do that.
Wouldn't that be great? You know,
Yes.
you could just say, you know what, what are you doing for you're going to take a 30-day break? Where are you going? I'm going out to
Okay.
this farm, one of the small farms that we've got. I'm going to go out there. I want to learn some organic farming. I want to know where the food comes from, and I want to see the whole process. I want to get my hands dirty. And you could literally, to me, I think it might be a mental break to completely move away from some of the engineering stuff that I do, the computer stuff. I would love to just kind of get out get out in the woods, or maybe they need help on a ranch of some kind, and I could be a ranch hand for a month. Maybe I could cook for the ranch. You know, go out and just say, yeah, I'm pretty good at doing stuff like that. You guys need somebody for that? Yeah, absolutely. Come on out. You
Right,
know.
right. And the people who are good at healing heal. The people who are good at delivering babies deliver babies. The people who are good at helping people transcend to their next level of energy, they do that.
Yep, and they
Yeah,
wouldn't be bogged down by the limitations, that we have right now.
and, th- and then we got another concept that comes into play, and that is every society and every world, so to speak, must have some rules. And that, I guess, our term for it is laws.
Mm.
And what should we consider to be most important? What I'm concerned is just there really is only about two laws that really should be the prime constitution or 10 commandments, or actually two commandments, and that is that do what you want, but do not infringe on someone else's life or property.
I think those are good. I think we should name them something else because, right, rules or laws carry that connotation from Earth. So they could be, I don't know,
Yeah,
affirmations or, we
What's a
have to
better word?
name
That's some guidelines, some positive guidelines for people. Remind them
positive
you're gonna have
guidelines.
a new freedom on this planet, but you know what? There are some mores that we need to kind of stick to about not violating someone else's free will. Just because you have a new freedom that isn't as bound up as it was as you were on Earth, doesn't mean you can really go kind of hog wild at everyone else's expense. I think society will kind of learn to grow up and mature a little more towards the kindness and respect that we're not seeing now, because a lot of people there's a lot of false pressures on society right now. It's making people mean.
What do you mean false pressure? What is that?
Well, think about it. We have this work paradigm, this 30-day bill cycle. We have a lot of pressure, financial pressure on people just to survive. And look at what they put themselves through to get through that survival. They get into traffic. They wind up in road rage. They wind up sitting in the pressure cooker of traffic. They're in jobs they don't really enjoy, so they're not happy. So there's a certain amount of institutionalized unhappiness on this planet that people are involved in, not necessarily because they really want to be. They even know that it's wrong, but they're in it. They're on this treadmill because they're trying to survive. They want to make that house payment. They really don't want to be homeless. They got kids to feed. They have they try to make ends meet, and so they're involved in a lot of institutionalized pressure.
Oh my gosh, so you just inspired what I want to do next on our planet.
Okay.
I want to be the greeter.
Okay.
I want to be the greeter for people who come from Earth to our new planet.
That's great.
Right? I want to congratulate them when they launch themselves out of their cube, right? Come on, welcome.
That's
Let me
right.
Let me show you around. I want to do that for a while.
They might need some guys to drive the trams from the spaceships down to the city square and give a tour. I love giving tours. Let me just show
Okay,
you
so
around
you
town.
could be,
I'd love
you can
doing
be
that.
tour guide.
I'd
Yeah,
love it. I'd love it.
I so see you doing that.
Yeah,
I so
absolutely.
see you doing
I could do it. I give tours wherever I go. I used to be like when I lived in Miami. I loved showing off Miami. I live where I live now. I love showing off the town here. So that's no problem for me. I love it.
Augie, what are you going to do on the planet?
Well, I think I would be doing radio shows.
Ah,
That will be. It is so much fun that I think I would continue doing that. But I also know one thing I would do. I started oil painting many years ago. Back in the mid 1980s, I started painting for a while after I retired, more or less. And I had so much fun doing it, but then I quit. And I always wanted to go back to some of that, and I just never did. And I would want to.
yay, yay.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to follow through on it, and you'll be able to join art clubs and other people that love to paint who couldn't here on this planet. You'll be hanging out with them, and it'll be a wonderful little world that I see that we'll be able to follow these passions because we'll have the power of the resources, and there won't be a place of scarcity and lack. So we'll be able to give of ourselves in a season of giving. And one thing we didn't really talk about yet, and that is, since we are able to go to this other planet, we may have visitors from other places, or we may be visiting other places. And how would we describe our season of giving that I think will probably be with us even if we did go to another planet? It will still be there, but I think it's going to be a much cleaner representation of what it's supposed to be than what we have now.
Right. So there would
What we
be
would have to show off is more like it would be holidays every day of the year.
right.
And that would be something to show our visitors that we are good here. Come and join us.
Right. But if we wanted to share in people's traditions, right? If we want to share in their traditions and people want to have Christmas or Hanukkah or what's the other one? I can't think of it. Anyway, if we want to share in people's traditions, what would that look like on our planet? There would be no last minute shopping. There would be no Black Friday, right? There would be when you cull it down, right, to the essence of what the tradition really means, what would you really be giving? What would you really be sharing? What would be the conversation at that dinner?
You might be handing somebody a Christmas card or a greeting card, or like you say, Hanukkah or whatever card, and in it says, happy holiday, that whatever that holiday is. But it might also be a coupon for something for service, whatever services you can give. Or maybe in the box is a hand-painted item, or something you took a wood burner and did a nice little plaque with, or maybe you did something in ceramics, or like Augie was talking about, a painting. That's what it would look like. It would look like that's the only thing you can give that has sentimental value. Sentimental value is no longer,
energetic value too.
It's an energetic, yeah. It's no longer dismissed in our planet like it is now here on this planet. The sentimental value means everything. I don't know how many television shows I've seen where somebody handed somebody something that had sentimental value, and it could be anything from a bottle cap to a little cork or some little trinket that somebody handed down through the family, a brooch that grandma wore, or something like that. That doesn't have a lot of value, but it has this connection from being passed on from person to person. And I think those are the kind of things that on our planet have much more value.
Right. So we're talking about the energy, right? The energy that's in those things. I mean, I know that when I come across something that's handmade, like a handmade piece of pottery or an art, a form of art, or even, handmade clothing, you can feel the energy of that. And so we'll be going back to the feeling place, right? We'll be living from our hearts more rather than living from, a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, I've got to go do this. I've got to get this for Aunt what's her name. And we'll be living more from an authentic heart space in the giving and receiving.
So we can only hope that we start thinking like this now, that we don't have to wait to go to that planet. We can start thinking like that now on this planet. I really think that's really the season's greetings from my planet.
That's key. That is very much key, because I know another thing I would like to do, and that is to teach people how to fly. Maybe even fly aerobatics like I used to. And this is something that people should sit down, take at least 2 minutes out of the day and do. Try to, in their mind, design their ideal work for the future or life situation for the future. Decide what they want their life to be. That is what we should do more so than is done, and very few people do it.
Right, and on Earth that can actually change the way that your life looks if we do that. I mean, planning it out, or that's the wrong word. Not planning it out, but describing it in detail the way that you want it to be. You're actually creating it so that you can have your own planet. I mean, that might be a really big leap from here to there, but based on law of attraction, based on manifestation, when you write down into the 3D the things that you want, and you get that picture in your mind, and you read it aloud, and you go over it and over it so that you can actually feel it, then the actual manifestation of it is going to take shape. Or you could quantum leap to our planet and join us there.
I think it'd be a lot more fun.
I think so too.
I absolutely think so.
Yeah, quantum leaps are a little hard on the body, but that's okay. We've got medibeds, right? We've got digimeds.
Well, it's not entirely trivial for us to speak like this, and I know for me, I've always been a science fiction fan. But science fiction is what has brought us a lot of the technology we see today that has a little bit been overused or abused. But really, science fiction is not much different than a lot of the ancient storytelling that talked about futures and about places of magic and things like that. And those what-ifs take us outside the normal, and they take us into a place of, well, what if? And we can begin to maybe take the bridge back, bring back some of the what if into the present, into our quote reality that we have here, and begin to make the place that we live now more like the future we want it to be.
Right. And so if to quote my friend Augie, if we live in a mind-created universe, and that which we project, right, that which we project with our thoughts gets kinked up because we feel limited, because we're afraid of lack, because we're afraid of punishment, because we're afraid of not being enough, right? That flow of energy, that vision that we would project to create the world that we desire gets kinked up. In the what if, and on our planet, you're free to create without having any restrictions. And in doing that, you can actually create what you want right here.
Yeah, and you create both for yourself and also for others.
Well, how do you figure we create for others?
Well, let's say that a new person come to our world. They haven't really figured out their way around yet. And we help them create a house, a dwelling for them. We can help them create furnitures and everything they need for them to get settled in. That should, at least for me, that would give me a phenomenally good feeling.
Okay, so we co-create with them, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because in a mind-controlled universe, we can really only create what we think about. We can't create for another person. They have to create what they think about.
Augie, I think we need you on the tour team. I think we can we get you down here on the tour team, because I think these trams are pretty easy to drive, and I think we can get you on the tour team here for some of this stuff. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, and of course, on our planet, there only will be downhill anyway, so.
It's all anti-grav units, so you don't have to worry about flat tires. So.
Well, we have self-driving vehicles.
That's true, yeah. So, but if you're going to do tours, though, I think you need one of the ones you can drive, a little kind of a golf cart style, kind of like Disneyland, where they have those people driving those tram trains. I think those would be a lot of fun. Then you have the microphone, and you get to be the tour guide.
Yeah,
Might be fun. You might want to take a little side rail. You know what? I'm going to show you a little restaurant over here I really like, Whereas the self-driving car would just kind of take you down a specific route. I think we're still going to need some of the old school, I want to drive and take people around and show them around. I think that's still going to be around.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know we're going to be ending up soon, but I just wanted to say that the thing that I love most about our planet is that we don't try to control other people's behavior, because on our planet we all control our own vibration, and we all tune into the frequency of love and kindness and compassion.
yes.
Yeah.
That is the ideal. That is
Feels
the
good.
ideal. It does, yeah.
Feels good to me. And if somebody does have a kink in their physicality, right? Maybe they are having an emotional breakdown, or somebody has a problem with anger. The way that we would treat it would not be to punish them. We would flood them. We would overwhelm them in communities of love, so that we would correct, right, behavior that would want to be corrected with the vibration and the frequency of love and kindness.
And when you get to a place like that where you're able to have this kind of a world, you'll be able. We won't feel locked on the planet like we are now. Like right now, we are held to this planet, even though many of us believe there may be technologies available already that the secret space program has to go to even other galaxies. So on our planet, all that's available. And you know what? If there isn't enough room for you on this planet, you can go. You'll be able to go out into the cosmos.
Yeah.
We are multidimensional.
That's right. And if somebody is really not fitting in, I'm sure there are plenty of places they could be taken to.
We are limitless.
That's right.
We are multidimensional, limitless beings.
That's right. So.
And then I remember also there was a spiritual teacher that said one time that love is the best medicine. And the other person said to him, well, what if it doesn't work? So the teacher said again, if it doesn't work, increase the dosage.
I'm all for that. Overdose on love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't even want to dilute that with saying anything else. How about you guys?
I'd just leave it like it is. It's wonderful. I thought, according to Reader's Digest, though, laughter was the best medicine, but that's right there behind love. So I'll let them let you have that one. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Please go to broadcastteamalpha.com, join our YouTube channel, and we'll see you here next week on L&M Radio for the Sunday show with Broadcast Team Alpha. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye
We'll
bye.
see you next week with a brand new show.
Bye.